Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 11 of No Filter with Naomi. Today for me is historic. I have loved these two ladies since I ever saw them the very first time, and since the first time I set my eyes on them. And I know you all have too. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the two living legends, the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena Williams.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is fun. I'm glad you got us both.
I'm so happy to have you both. God, I can't remember last when we were together. I think it was here in New York, actually.
It
Or
may have
maybe.
been.
So tell me,
Yeah,
where
it's
are
definitely
you?
been
May
a
I
while.
ask you where you are? You're home with mom?
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm in Florida. We're both in Florida. So mom is here, dad is here, Olympia is here.
Fantastic.
So it's not a bad place to be in self-isolation and quarantine.
Yeah, to be around your family too, I'm sure. It's also.
Yeah. And you're in New
So
York, right?
I'm in New York, yeah.
Oh,
And
cool.
I mean, I'm not in the middle of the city, so I can't see what's really like going on, like the avenues and stuff. I'm kind of on the edge of it, by the Hudson, so I'm not getting the real feeling. But you know, I just go day by day.
Mm.
Just all you can do.
So what have you been
But
up to? Your shows have been really exciting.
I've
Yeah.
been I've been working out, working out, and
Have you done Venus workouts at 12 o'clock every day?
we've got a workout on Thursday together, Venus and I.
Ah,
Yeah, we got one
I'm trying to get on
planned.
our schedule now
Yay!
that I'm feeling better.
And what was I going to say? I mean, I don't know where to start because I've known you both for so long, since the '90s, end of the '90s, I believe we met. Where did we first meet, though? I don't know if it was at a game
That's a tough
or
one.
a
I
fashion
don't know
show.
where we first
But I
met.
know where we went. I know we went to one of Puffy's famous P. Diddy, now we call him, parties. That's what I do know. And there's a picture of that we're probably insert. Um, but I mean, tell me, because the world is missing sports. The world is missing you both, not seeing you playing. What do you think, what do you feel like will happen with, you'll go back to tournaments? Will there be an audience or will there not be an audience? What do you think on
The
that?
thing is, we don't know, right? We're trying to figure out what everyone's new normal is. And like, I don't know what the new normal is going to be. There's a ton of speculation of playing, without a huge audience and playing in a different way. But even when it does go back to normal, like, what is that normal? Is it, are seats a little more separated? Are they not? Like, no one really knows. So the what's so unique about this is none of us have ever actually been through this worldwide, and everyone worldwide is affected by it. So I'm just as curious as you to know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. So, I'm just kind of tuning in. There's a lot of things going on, but there's like no real answers because no one actually has the answers.
We're each day just finding our way and dealing with something new and embracing something new. That's how I'm just, no expectations, and anything that comes our way, we learn about it and try to move forward. But the two of you have done so many firsts. First Grand Slam winners, first sister winners. I mean, you've changed the face of tennis. You know that, right? I mean, all those young kids that look up to you.
Thank you
Tell me
so
what it was
much.
like when you started. Was it acceptable as women of color? I mean, how was it? Can you? I really want to know the story from you because I've never actually
Right.
gotten to hear it from you, both of you.
Right. And I think honestly, just kind of throwing that back at you, you could tell us the same kind of story, what it was like for
Yeah.
you, because you were definitely one of the first. And I remember when I guess, when I was in my early 20s too, and kind of like starting to understand a little bit about fashion. And I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Naomi. And like everything was Naomi. And like I remember your website and everything. I was still am a huge fan. And every day I joke with my physio too. We're like, what is her secret? We must know. She
I
must
know.
tell us.
We
Like
want to know
we
the
You've got
secrets
a
literally
birthday
today.
coming.
every
You've got
secret.
you've got a nice birthday coming. I've got a nice birthday coming. We're both Geminis.
Yeah, well, it's coming. It's coming for us, but the time won't show. But obviously, you take really good care of yourself. And growing up, we were in a really tight bubble. Just like it was just about our family and about the tennis. So even though we grew up in Compton, California, we never kind of felt the effects of that. And I think Serena, you and I were talking to mom about that yesterday. We're like, you were so tough. Like,
Right?
how did she deal with all that? Because we were so young, they made us feel like we had everything and the world was ours. But I'm sure like it must have been tough for my mom.
Now, did you share rooms or did you have your own room, Venus? Did you share a room, Serena?
No, so we all shared a room growing up. And that's like, even now to this day, if I were to have more kids, I definitely would want my daughter to share a room with the next child because it just makes, I don't know, it just makes for a wonderful experience. You get to like
The
experience so much, and
best.
there's so many stories that you can tell,
Bunk
right?
beds?
Did you?
May I ask who had bunk
Bunk
beds?
beds. We had
Bunk
bunk
beds.
beds.
Yes,
Yeah.
love bunk beds.
Did you have that?
I wish I had what you had, in the sense of I wish I had a big family with lots of brothers and sisters. I didn't. And just, I mean, the thing I always think to myself is, what was it like in the mornings getting ready to go to school? Was everyone in the bathroom? Or,
Yeah.
it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it was really a great experience, I think. And I think when you are one of many, you kind of take some things for granted, and then you look
Yeah.
back and it's just like an experience that you can't relate. It's just something that you either experience or you don't. It's just, I'm happy that we had it and we had so many wonderful sisters growing up in the house. Gosh, what was it like in the bathroom?
How
And
many
we
of
were,
you, how many
yeah.
brothers and sisters are you in total?
So there's five of us, and we're the youngest too.
Yeah. So Serena's number 5. I'm number 4.
And
Yeah, we just go by
I've met all
numbers.
your sisters.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've met everyone.
I
But yeah,
think so,
growing up,
yeah.
we were the youngest on the totem pole, so we just did everything that our older sisters did,
But you
and
have very
thankfully we had good
wise,
role models. Yeah,
exactly, you have very
Yeah,
good role models. See,
definitely.
right to a respect.
yeah.
Very
So
lucky
whatever
you
our
guys.
sister Isha was listening to, we listened to that music. Whatever she was doing, we were doing. So that's really important. And I always say to Serena, well, if I took a wrong turn, you would have too. So
Totally, totally. If
Now
she was
tell me,
doing,
sorry, go ahead, Serena.
no, I always love how if she was doing something different, I would have definitely done it too. So
So
thank you,
is
V.
that in all aspects? Like, I mean,
Totally.
I
Ask if
grew
she
up
was a
actually
decided to be
similar
something
to
different, I
you
would have done.
in the terms of the Jehovah's Witness. I grew up with my grandmother, my mother's. So is that in all aspects, Serena, that you followed your big sister Venus?
Yeah, definitely. But religion is a completely different subject. You have to kind of find your own way in that and kind of find your own love for God in that way.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that about it. It's something that you choose to do. And um, yeah, I still love doing that and choosing to follow what's right and what I think is what's right. So that's something that hopefully I'll continue to do. I plan on it. And but other things, just growing up with your sister is you just follow the example.
What was it like playing together? Like when you played together, you won your first doubles championships. I mean,
What was that, V? Our
nothing could
first
feel better, I'm
doubles?
sure.
I mean, our first doubles championship was, oh my gosh, when was that, Serena?
It
1998?
was in Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma City. So we played this tournament because we wanted to do this game. The sponsor of the tournament was a supermarket, and we only played the tournament because you got to run through the supermarket and like put as much as you could in the basket. You know that game show, Supermarket Sweep?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
played because we wanted to do that because we used to love that game show, and like everything you put in went to the food bank. So if you put in like diapers and canned food and things like that, so that's why we played the tournament, and then we ended up winning like the singles and doubles there, and it was our first title. And so what is our that's our anniversary, right? How many years has it
Yeah.
been?
February,
Let's
right?
count.
This what it
So
used to be
we're
in February.
20. It was February, so that was 22 years ago.
My goodness, amazing. I mean, how
Yeah,
old? You were 14, Venus, when you went pro, right? 14.
yeah, yeah.
That is that the youngest ever?
I think there's a little bit younger, 14, or some people have been like 13 and in 11 months, but it's really young when you think about it. That's the equivalent of a ninth grader. So a ninth grader like playing a professional sport and beating up, grown women basically. So it's
Wow.
you're like in a little girl in a big world. So it's a
It's
lot of
amazing.
responsibility. So
Hmm.
you gotta have the right role models. You gotta have the right parents. You can't have a crooked agent. You can't have this, that, and the other. So thankfully we didn't have all that. So that's why we're still here today because of the balance. And before you mentioned religion too, and I think the best part of it, it gives you perspective and balance on the most
Hmm.
important things in life. So that way you don't get so wrapped up in this tennis game, but it also helps you to pick good people around you because you won't just stand for anything. So then you don't just get anything, you actually get everything because of your discipline and balanced outlook on life and putting God first. So honestly, that's why I'm still standing here today. Because everyone has their coping mechanisms or whatever, but for Serena and I, that's our reason for going.
Well, tell us about your parents. Your parents, I mean, are incredible. Your father, was he the first person to put the racket into your hands? How did you pick up a racket in the first place? Both of you.
I definitely started with Venus, and because she's barely older than me. She's a little older than
You're
me.
what,
So
2 years? Or just
no,
under?
15 months.
15 months.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I was there as a kid because she was there. I wasn't mentally there. I was so young. So I don't know. But I think it was definitely my dad that started
Yeah.
us. But um,
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I was older, but barely. But I'm 6'1". Naomi, I know you're tall too. And Serena, you
No,
guys
but
are
you're taller than me,
you're tall,
Venus.
but I'm like very tall. So, um, I was younger and I was like pushing her around. I remember like pushing her around in the stroller, feeding her, like all these different things. I guess it was love at first sight.
Oh,
So it's a special relationship because she's the only one that I'm older than. So then, even to this day, we're very codependent in a way, in a good way though. So we copy each other in everything that we do. So, um, at the time, of course, since I played tennis, of course, Serena had to play tennis, and then she got really, 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 really good.
really, really
So
good.
the rest is
That's an
history.
understatement. Really, really good.
Yeah.
if I like courtyards, you like courtyards, right?
No, I don't like courtyards still. Okay, I like courtyards.
But I mean, your dad has been an incredible, I mean, both your parents have been, I mean, what they've instilled in you as ladies and as teenagers into ladies and to mature, amazing, legendary ladies of your sport. I mean, what is it that, because I've ever since I watched you, you both have always held such an integrity and elegance about the both of you, and but yet a peacefulness, and maybe that was what you were describing just then, Venus, before.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody is born who they are and how they are, but you can decide how to mold yourself. So I think for Serena and I both that we want to look back and say, hey, I'm someone that can be respected and someone hopefully that could be a role model for others. And I guess that's how it's turned out. But most of all, we want mom and dad to be proud. I think that's important too. You always want your parents to be proud of you, no matter how old you are, or if your parents have passed on, you still that's their legacy. But I'm just happy to hold a racket. I really think it was what Serena and I were meant to do. If there was a meant to do, I really think that's what we were supposed to do. I don't
Now,
know how you feel too about your legacy too. Like
I
it feels
know,
like you
right?
were meant to do what you do. No one can represent a brand the way you do or the way you walk. I don't think anyone could even try
are you
that, the
talking about
strength
me?
that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
like
God,
it's just everything. And so I don't know if you feel that way too. That's what you were meant to do, is like
I
open
don't
these
know
doors
because
for other women.
I didn't want to model. I really wanted to be a dancer, and
So
it's
did you
tough
do
though.
dance?
Mm?
Did you do dance?
I did. I studied dance from like 3 to 16 up until after my exams, and then it was like, okay. Then I got catapulted into modeling, which was great. I'm grateful, forever grateful. Um, and I didn't know how to model. I didn't know how to do a thing. I didn't know how to pose. I just used all the dance steps on positions. I just kind of blagged it. But
That's amazing.
tell me, so you both love fashion, both of you, and you both have fashion lines. So I'm following 11. I love what you're doing, the athletic wear. And I think, this is easy, comforting clothes. That's what you want. You want easy now. Tell me, when did
Yeah.
you start 11, Venus?
Yeah, so I started 11 a few years ago, and yeah, it is easy and comfortable. And especially now, everybody's at home, everyone's working from home, so you're looking for a way to like feel good about yourself and not be a slouch while still like looking comfortable.
And I'm
Yeah.
There's a
slouching.
lot
Let
of
me sit
memes
up.
about that, right? There's a lot of memes about that. But yeah, 11 stands for being better than the 10. So we try to help women find the inner champion within themselves. And
Mhm.
that's honestly different for every person. I'm a tennis player, you're a model, other people are on the front lines working in medicine, but we still want to find our best, to be our best. No one just says, "Hey, I don't want to be my best." Whatever it is you do, even if you're like a couch potato, you want to excel at that maybe. I
You
don't
want
know.
to have self-esteem. Yeah, I agree with you.
Exactly.
Self-esteem is important, and
It is. It
and
really is.
however how you have to do it for yourself, you need to do it. I believe you. I'm with you on that 100%.
I agree with that. And that's just one of the tenements of 11 too, is self-esteem and confidence. And so that journey to 11, which is past the 10, there's a lot of things along the way. You have to set goals. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have confidence. You're going to have to build and empower yourself. There's a lot of things that happen on your way to where you want to go. And then once you get there, how do you stay there? And then when you get there, there's still ups and downs, which I think we've all experienced.
Yes.
So for us is helping people to kind of find their inner self, their inner confidence, their 11 is going to be
Their
different for every
balance.
person. Yeah, for you. So it's not just about
Mhm.
like throw these clothes on and go run 1,000 miles. It's like, okay, what else do I need to be happy?
Is there any special fabric that you use of sustainability that makes you? Do we have happy fabric? I hope we do. I hope they start making happy fabric.
You know, I like that. Would that be legal?
I don't know.
What's
Once I
in
wore
that fabric?
something as an Inalaya, and they said that this fabric was something that was positive for the vibration of energy. So I think that will happen soon.
Yeah, I think there's all kinds of stories. It's like sustainability. For me, I like a real light fabric because I am sweating like bullets. So I like a light fabric. Other people like fabric with lots of hold. Some people want more coverage and mesh. So it's kind of like
Stretch, a
also
good stretch.
exactly. I have my own personal style and needs and wants, but those can't come first. It's got to be like you have to
Hmm.
have a variety of things for a variety of people, and then you can't put yourself first. So it's a real interesting balance, but I like that challenge of it.
And Serena, you debuted your line. Well, no, you're not debut. You've had it, but you had a big thing at Fashion Week in February, this 2020, and you did a great Q&A with Anna Winter, who I know that you're very close to and is a big fan of yours. You're very good friends. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, it was fun. We've been our brand is S by Serena, but we have amazing fashion and it's exciting. So Venus has a more of an athleisure brand and I have a more of a everyday wear. Both can, have excel at each.
Yeah.
So our brand is really just about really feeling good about yourself and really channeling who you are and wanting to look good no matter what you're doing and being feeling good when you put them on. So that's kind of what we do, and we are really we have size ranges
Mm.
in our collection. So we really have a diverse community when it comes to size, and that's something that we want to do at a reasonably affordable price. So. But I'm not here to talk about the brand or anything.
No,
I'm not
I'm just
dictating my
asking. No,
brand or
I'm getting to my next
yeah.
question. Don't you worry, because
Okay.
I know that Venus, you have a degree in fashion that you studied at the Fort Lauderdale School of Arts. And I just want to, and then
Yeah.
Serena, I also know that you took a course in beauty and gave a pedicure, was it a pedicure or a manicure to Oprah? I want to know how, with all that you do, because you traveled both so much for your tournaments, how did you fit this in to go to School of Art, to do a beauty course?
We don't
I'm going to
know.
go,
We
Venus
both
gets
went
to
to
speak
art
first.
school, so we don't know how it happened. We both always joke that we went to art school in between winning Wimbledon's and U.S. Opens. And I just remember in school everyone had a meltdown. And Venus had hers, and I was laughing at her because I'm like, why is she melting down that she can't do this? I don't know. Maybe it was a sewing thing. I don't know. And I remember literally the very next day I had my own meltdown, and every day someone in class would have some sort of a meltdown because art school is so hard, especially with the fashion part of it. But it was fun. Venus actually ended up finishing, and she's a rock star. So
Yeah, I remember meltdown was in drawing and perspective. And
yes,
the way she
oh,
handled her meltdown was much different. So we were in class and I think it was a midterm. And so we were supposed to
yeah.
draw this bust. And then the instructor kept turning it and turning it and turning it. So you had to draw the bust
Oh
on
my
this
goodness.
paper. And it looked like
So you
something.
both can draw. Both of you can draw.
No,
We
let her
were on
finish
our
the
way.
story.
I can't
I
hear
was on my.
completely. Venus,
Oh,
turn up your mic.
oh, okay. So I'll
Yay,
speak
better,
louder.
better.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so the instructor's turning the bus, and I look over at Serena's paper, and I see what is the
Because we
equivalent
had
of you had to draw it. I
with
see what
charcoal. We
looks
were using charcoal.
like a stick person. So it was like,
Ah,
and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, she really needs help. It was such a struggle. It was tough. And, we're coming off the courts, and now we have to draw. And the next
Oh,
thing I know, she gets up and takes a break. She and this other girl, they leave the class. She goes to the snack machine. That was her breakdown.
so funny. Because I kept saying,
oh,
I didn't come to art
what, you
school
just
to
gave up,
draw.
Serena? Did you
No,
give
because
up?
I kept saying, I didn't come here to draw. I came here to do fashion. I don't want to draw. And it was just, it was a total, I was so mad. I gave up. And honestly, I deserved an F. But the guy saw my pain and how much I was like, I can't do this. And he ended up giving me like a C minus. I was so
That's
happy.
not
Somehow,
bad.
and I got a C too, even though my work was good.
Your
I
work was
had actually
really,
good work, but I guess the instructor didn't like my style because I was very loose. I like to
Yeah.
be interpretive, even though it was like. And since I didn't know at the time that you have to read your instructors and go with it, I was young and green. But now, watch out, professor. I know how to get my A.
it was really funny. What was your meltdown? Your meltdown was in the sewing, right?
In the sewing, so we were in like sewing and construction. I can't remember the name of that class. And you have to we had to thread a machine. It's like a serger, so there's like 5 threads going in at once. And I think I missed the class where I was at a tournament, so I missed the class when he learned how to thread this machine. And I was like hitting balls at 10 o'clock at night and coming to school like 12 hours a day. And like I had a makeup assignment to thread this machine, so I'm trying to thread the machine. I couldn't do it. And I was like under so much stress and just being overworked. And like I just started crying. I was like, and I could like breathing uncontrolled, like that.
You just couldn't. Oh my
But
goodness.
it's so
I
crazy
just
because
started.
literally the school was so hard.
But it
Everyone
sounds
had a
really tough.
meltdown.
Everyone
Every
had a
day there was
meltdown.
someone having a
It
meltdown.
was
Like it was
people
no
just
joke.
losing it.
They sound like they're really, really tough and
Oh, it
strict and
was tough. It was a
disciplined.
tough
It
curriculum.
should be a reality. It should have been a reality
It
show.
should have been because it was crazy. But you know, now we're designers and we really know how to handle fabrics and how to actually construct things and how to do things from literal experience and going through those tough moments in order to create stuff. So
So
that's
it
one thing
did
that I
help.
love
It did.
about.
It did help. Did it? It helped.
Oh yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
helped. So that's one thing that I love about Venus line and my line is that we actually studied for it, you know, and we really know how to do it. And it's a story that's not told a lot, and we don't really go around telling it, but
Mhm.
it's just interesting that there's an authenticity behind it.
Yeah, and it's actually so fun to relive these moments too. Like we don't actually talk about design school that much anymore, but I remember Serena like she could sew a zipper, so I was like, "Can you sew my zipper in?" And then I
Oh,
was always I could fix like she would make her patterns quickly and I would make mine slow, but they were always like correct. And so then she'd be like, "Can you help me sew my garment?" Because her pattern would be a little bit off, and I would like
Right.
get it and I'd like make it work. Like, "Ugh." So
I
now,
could
I
thread a
still
Serena.
love
machine.
sewing to this day. She could thread a
And then
machine. It was like tag team.
when did you fit in the beauty, Serena?
So I had an injury, I had like a knee injury, so I ended up taking nail classes. So I would like to show off my nails right now. Everyone is, oh, where's the
Can't.
camera?
Did you do
Yeah.
those yourself?
Yeah. So I'm like, I ended up going to nail school. Just I had surgery and I ended up taking some nail school. So now in this time of craziness, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do my nails. I'm gonna do different styles and different stuff. So that was just
So
an
this is
aside.
like. This looks like I. The nails for me now are a piece of art. They are
They
art.
are. Yeah.
And
So I've
what
been
you, I
working on
mean,
my
how long did
art.
it
So
take
I've
to
been
do
working on.
those?
It took me a while because I wanted them to each be a little different and kind of like have like a what is it called when a gradient kind of look? Yeah,
Gradient. I'm not smart
yeah.
enough. Actually, I don't know.
So
I
that's what I
just
was
get one
working
boring
on.
color at all times. I'm just terrible.
So everyone, when I'm on social, they're like, "Who did her nails?" And I'm like, "I did them. I'm social distancing. Don't worry, I did them. Relax."
Love that.
Yeah, I
Love
liked
that.
your. I love her. I don't know if you've seen her stories, but then she when she was doing her nails, and then that one you got tired because you started like at midnight or something crazy,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
finished it the next day, and then the baby gets in there, and the baby starts putting on the makeup, and she says, I cute." It's so funny.
Olympia said that. Oh,
Yeah, she is in the camera. I'm like, oh my goodness, kid. This kid is she's
It's so
interesting.
funny. She's
I'm
very
like, where did
interesting.
you learn I'm cute?
We don't know where she learned that.
Who runs around saying I'm cute that you learned that from? YouTube.
but she looks like so much fun.
She is. She
If you
is.
just, I saw you. I think I saw you a picture of you in the Maldives going down a slide,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I thought that looked so much fun.
Oh, so I have so much fun with her. She forgot to nap today. That's why I was running a little bit late. 'Cause I'm trying to get her to sleep, but I don't think she went to sleep. No,
She's
she's all
away.
right. She's awake.
And how is it for you, Auntie Venus?
Vivi,
It's
Auntie Vivi.
Phoebe?
yeah.
And she
She
just was
calls
saying
me.
Vivi. She was like, "Are we gonna visit Vivi?" I'm like, no, baby, not today, baby.
This is why we put in the work. You know, it was tough at first because we spent about I don't know, almost 3 weeks without seeing each other. So we all were just staying home, and I haven't even been to like a grocery store or a store since 4 weeks. So now we're seeing each other now because we feel like okay, we've isolated and quarantined. So I was so happy to see her and that she still remembered me, you know, because
Oh,
when they're little, you know, their minds think differently than an adult. But she's very smart. She's a superhero. She's much wiser, smarter, coordinated than I ever was at that age, or
right?
Serena. It's she's a very special girl. She really is.
Yeah, I've
And
never
she's
seen
confident.
coordination
She
like
knows what
this.
she wants. She's focused. She's determined. It's funny though. She can't do something the way she wants. She gets very upset. So she's still learning how to deal with adversity. But honestly, all of us we like laugh a little bit because it's so cute and funny. She gets so upset.
Oh,
So, quick question, Serena. Did you give, when did you, or I heard that you gave Oprah Winfrey a pedicure.
Oh, yes, that was a long time ago. It was gosh, I don't even remember. It was like in the beginning. Well, not the beginning. The first when I first finished going to finish my course at nails. So, but I specialize in nail art.
Nail
Not really,
artist.
but yeah.
And how did you meet Anna Winter?
So we met Anna back in '97, right? V or '98 when we did that Vogue thing together, and we were on the couch and we were like this. And remember we had those big. It was like a black and white
Well, I remember
gown.
it was with Annie Leibovitz, but I don't remember if Anna
Yeah.
was there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we were such kids. Oh my gosh, we were so, I was like 15,
Yeah.
And
16.
was it love at first sight? I take it was because you're definitely you guys are really good friends. So I take it that it was
Yeah,
really.
it was. She's a special person, and I just absolutely, completely adore her. And I love being around her. I love her brain. I think a lot of people don't take for granted everything that she's done and everything that she's stood for. And I just really love just having her advice on so many different things.
Did
It's
she help
really,
you
really,
in
really
your
cool.
wedding dress?
Yeah, absolutely. She totally helped me. She's, first of all, she's like, "You're not getting this without me." I'm like, okay. Every single sketch and design we sent to her, and she gave great feedback. I was like, "Oh my God, you're so right. That would be really cool. That would be really good." So, yeah, it was really really awesome. Yeah, I mean, great.
That's
Oh, I
amazing.
kind of want to do. I want to do over though because I think baby was like 2 months old, but it's okay.
And
At
Venus,
least I'll always be able to fit my dress.
but you still have your dresses, no?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also, I saw you win something of Valentino not that long ago with Pia Paro.
Um, Love him, right? You guys are good
Yeah,
friends, right? Yeah, he's
yeah.
so cool. Maybe it was the Royal, the I don't know. I recently, I haven't been anywhere recently.
Are you happy that your girlfriend's moved to America?
Don't know
Meghan
what you're
Markle?
talking about. Don't know nothing about that.
I mean, they're on the West Coast, but
Never seen
I
her,
mean, it's
never
a
heard of her. Don't know her.
big deal. Venus, I never asked you this because your name. How did you come to get your name, Venus?
Oh, right?
Did you see that face?
Yeah, I saw that.
Naomi, you don't know what I have to deal with on a daily basis. Serena blames me for not liking tomatoes because I didn't like tomatoes when we were kids.
It's true.
So she blames me for not liking tomatoes. And it goes on 30 years later. And she wanted a courtyard house, apparently, when we moved in together ages ago. And that's why she said the courtyard house before, because she blames me for not having a courtyard house. Oh my God, it's like having a wife that just keeps nagging you.
So you didn't answer my question though. Your
Oh,
name, Venus. How did you get it?
oh, so my mom was just a genius. I think it's a great name for me. I think it really works.
Beautiful.
And she just thought that, the inspiration came to her. My mom was really creative with the names. I'm Venus,
No,
Serena,
your
Lindrea.
mom said that you were going to be a star and that she felt that
Yeah.
she named you Venus. And then her middle name is Star. Can you imagine having such an amazing name?
That's great. It says Venus Star. Is
Do you
it?
see the face? Do you see the face?
Actually, it gets better. It's Venus Ebony Star.
It's Venus Ebony Star Williams. I
Ebony
like that.
Star.
But that is a name of a star. It
Oh,
definitely is. That's a name
so
that deserves to
that's
be
what
in
she
lights.
said. That's how
Absolutely.
I mean, it's such an iconic, amazing, beautiful name, Venus.
But
I
yours
know
is
another
equally
girl
as
named
beautiful
Venus.
too,
Crazy.
Serena. Because Serena is for me represents serenity. You
Yes,
know.
which I never understood why my mom named me Serena because I'm like the least calm person, but I'm actually super calm. I'm
No, you're
super,
chill.
super chill, super
You
chill. And
are.
I'm like, the name really fits me. But for a while I wasn't, but like now I'm incredibly chill. So, um, yeah, taking
So,
notes on things that tease Venus about. Like,
what do you think? Either, say, I let Venus answer this question because I know she's got a heart out. What do you think, or what would you like to do the first thing when we're back to the new normal? As I don't know what normal is going to be.
ooh,
What would you
So
like to do?
first and foremost, I've cleared my schedule for you. So I've moved my heart out. I've told the people they've got to wait.
Oh,
So
bless
that's
you.
because I love you.
Thank you, baby. Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
And second, I would have to say, I mean, of course, the first thing I'd want to say is see the people that I haven't been able to see, go to the club. Um,
Need a
Sister
dance.
connection.
rooftop
I
bar would
know,
be
but
great.
how's our
Uh,
clubs going to be? Are
oh,
they going to be
I
isolation
know.
clubs?
I think we're gonna have to focus on like outdoor areas. But no, in all seriousness, honestly, and quite obviously, go back on tour and play Grand Slam tennis. I think
Yeah.
we this is an unprecedented break for a tennis player because we play 11 months out of the year. So yeah, this has been a interesting mid-season break, but it's fun to play Wimbledon and the U.S. Open and
Yeah,
French
it
Open, and
looks like
we missed
I
our
missed
we missed
that.
our tournaments in our home
Yeah,
states of California and Florida, and so it's kind of hard to
Paris.
see this domino just keep happening and knowing that you won't have a chance to do anything for a long time. So for the athletes, it's been tough.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And mentally too, as well as physically. Um, I mean, 11 months of the year I mean, it's tough. Your schedules are tough, both of you. 11 months of the year on the road. So each city, you're there for what, 2 to 3 weeks?
Depends. Either 10 days or 3 weeks, somewhere in that area. But if
So
you
then
leave
how
early,
long are
you get
you
to go home
home?
right away. Not long,
A
but
month, a week? How long out of a month?
well, we don't play the whole time, but we pick and choose what we play. Especially now that we're older, we don't play as much. Um, we just choose the really important ones and the warm ups before that, and etc. But yeah, we would. It would be. I don't know. It just depends. Like I don't. We sit in December at home, so in most of November.
Yeah.
Um, and other than that, it's like a week at home or a week here, a week there. It just kind of depends.
Well,
Um,
yeah, we're stealing moments of time because even when we're not playing tennis, we're doing other things. So we're working. I know Serena's on several boards, all sorts of things that we're doing. You try to fit in things for the community. So we're really just stealing moments, but it's a privilege. And I think we understand more now that it is definitely a privilege. But even those times that we aren't on tour, we have to train.
yeah.
So you never get away from the training. I don't think one day when we don't have to train, I think it's going to feel surreal for a really long time. Like we're going to
Right.
wake up like,
Oh, I think we'll still
I,
train.
I, I think we'll
We'll
still
definitely still
train,
train.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll
Does
do
dad
something.
still come down to training? Does he still come and watch
Actually,
training?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. When we're training, he does. And that's like the best time because we get to see him, and then we just get to hang out. But now we're like, I think that's what I want to do is just hang out with my dad like a lot. Cause
Yeah, and our dad is older too, and he's close to 80 now. So we also being really careful around him, and if we
He's
see
close to
him, it's like
80. He
from the
doesn't look it.
distance. Yeah, he's what year is it now? 20. He's 70. He just turned 78 in February. So yeah,
So of course
yeah,
you're being very careful with him. It's precious. Yeah. Is
yeah.
there anyone um others is there any other siblings that we haven't met or family members that have also picked up the racket?
no,
No,
not
our
that I
older
know of.
sisters they're good at tennis, so they know their way around the racket and they can give good advice. They're like, yeah, you were lifting up off the ball a little bit in that last match. You're like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. That sounds
yeah.
right.
One of our sisters like, I'll beat her. I would have beat her. I'm like, relax, Lynn. I mean, other sister. Yeah.
I have to ask you this question because as like I just as I'm not so bad. Just as like And then here comes a serious question after the back of that. No,
Yeah.
just as like a woman of color, right?
Hmm.
I had to speak up and I had to ask for things I wanted. Didn't always get it. Most of the time, didn't have to get it and had to work for it. Um, what was it like? Because you came in the 90s. What was it like then for you? Like, what were you up against? What did you go through?
Well, I think one of the main things that we went through and still go through is people saying, "This is our sport. We've never seen anyone like that looks like you, that is your color, that has come into our sport and just really dominate." And um, we don't really like it. We're going to play you harder. We're going to do things to win to make it look different so we can have this opportunity. We're not going to play everyone else like this, but against you, this is what we're going to do. Um, Also, just having to deal with, um, and for me, at times, different sponsors that weren't as supportive because I may have been, because I'm African American, one because I'm black, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
that is also interesting. Um, and then, just when you are coming into a sport like tennis, where historically it has been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of people that are white and that are successful and that are doing really well. And tennis is like for lack of a better word, an elitist sport, right? So it has different
Absolutely.
types of sponsors, it's similar to golf in a way.
Yes.
You can't really play tennis, and it was told so many years that you come into tennis unless you're really wealthy and you can afford the equipment and the clubs to go play at. But Vanessa and I kind of were able to change that narrative and say, like, actually, people who have less can do better because they want to work even harder and they want to be able to improve their situation. Um, but yeah, there was a lot of things that we had to go through. For me, I had that awful experience of being booed by the entire crowd. Um, but we also had some amazing pioneers like Althea Gibson and Arthur Ashe and Zena Garrison and Lori McNeil. These are some players that came before us and Chanda Rubin even that opened so many different doors. Um, that we were able to benefit from because it was the late 90s. So we were able to benefit from a lot of the things that they went through, and we didn't necessarily have it um, in the tennis world as intense as they probably did.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that too, is that thankfully we had parents that helped us to know who we were in this world and that you may face things that other people might not face because of the color of your skin. But at the same time, the great part about tennis, which is can be different in places like corporate America, is that you can let your racket do the talking. So
Yeah.
you get out there, you win your
Absolutely.
matches, and everybody
Yeah.
wants to be friends with a winner. But then you start to see a paradigm shift, and I
Very
think that's
true.
opened a lot of doors for a lot of young women and quite frankly young men too.
Hmm.
I mean, I have to tell you, like sometimes when I be watching Wimbledon, and I'll just use that because that was where I saw it. Like, you'll be clearly winning, the two of you, and the commentary would be talking as if you're not. And I'd be like, what are they saying? They are clearly winning this match, And I find that still happens. I have a friend who's in football now. We all know Lewis Hamilton, when he's winning a F1 race, but they're speaking as if he's not. And that still is something that has to change.
Yeah, I think that's something that has to change. A lot of these commentators were in this world where they weren't used to seeing people that looked like us, and are like, well, and to kind of say what you're saying, it's like it's not that we weren't winning. It was almost as if we should have won, and we were supposed to win, and there was, like, I don't know, it would be a big deal if we didn't lose, if we didn't win, or oh,
Mm.
I knew they weren't going to win because they were this or they were that or she was this or she was that. So I basically, whenever I watch matches or do film, I just hit mute because I've had a lot of people, fans too, text me through social media talking about how awful they are and the things that they would say. And so I just always hit mute and just kind of, like Venus said, let my racket do the talking.
Exactly. It's very upsetting. That's a good way. Next time I will hit mute in future. That's a
You
good
shouldn't
way.
have to. You definitely shouldn't have to. Um, But we also live in a world where a lot of things happen that shouldn't happen. So
That's right. So, Serena, Venus, your birthday's coming in June. Serena's is coming September. You're the same day as my brother, Serena, 26. It's
oh,
good people. Libras, we're all from the same element of air.
well, I don't follow that, and
I
we
know,
don't.
I
I
do.
don't.
I
Yeah.
so do.
Okay.
Um, so now that you've got your fashion lines, you're on a hiatus, obviously, from the sport that you love. Um, what do you think where do you think you will want to go in terms of, is it towards the fashion more, if you have time for hiatus, is it longer time off, or is it just day by day, wait and see?
Honestly, for me now, it's day by day. I think Venus and I have done a really great job of building brands outside of tennis. So, yeah, it is day by day, but we are on calls literally all day, dealing with our other businesses. Venus has 11, and which is her athleisure brand. And then she has V Star Interiors. I don't even know if you know that, but
I
she's
didn't
two
know
full
that.
companies. Yeah, she has two full companies that she's running, and also she's running Venus Williams Corporation. So that's a lot. And the same with me. So it's like, yeah, it's day by day. We're really working on how to expand our brands at this point, and also what's next for us and what's the next step for our business, and our, what we want to do with that. So we really have our days packed, and it's for me. I've taken some time off. I actually haven't played tennis. I just started training, and now that I started training, I'm like, oh man, okay, I have to cut back on this call because our days are literally is this, it's like we have our regular job, but two of them.
Right, scheduling. Um, so I'm going to wrap this up with asking you, what would you say to any young woman out there who aspiration is to be a tennis player, to be Venus and Serena Williams? Because there's millions of girls that look up to you, including me.
Well, we look up to you. Go ahead, V.
I would say let tennis work for you. So do the work for tennis and then let it work for you. Um, it's a icing on the cake if you get to the professional level. It's not easy to do or easy to maintain, and it's by no means impossible. But I would say get everything you can out of the sports. That means work as hard as you can, surround yourself with people who are positive, smart, wise, build you up, have your best interests at heart, want to help you get to where you need to get to. So when you do all those things, whether or not you go professional or not, the game will do the work for you. You'll learn so much. You'll learn how to win, you'll learn how to lose, you'll learn how to set goals, and all these things that you'll learn and set yourself up with will be monumental. So let it do that for you. That's what I would say.
Mic drop. I couldn't put it any better. But it's true. Like what you do and what you learn, brings the discipline and the drive to do
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. And whether you continue in sport or not, like Venus just said, you have the elements and everything that you need to keep going in the world.
Always keep
Very
that
well said,
element.
V. You smart.
Yeah, well said, Faith. And what is it that binds you together? The one thing that's between you that binds you.
I think for me, I can say for sure that tennis really binds me and Venus together because no one in the world on this planet, I mean, if you really think about it, no one on this planet understands what I go through except for Venus because she's been there and she's won
Yeah.
as many titles as I have, and nobody else has that experience. So for me, it's like a special bond. Yeah, we're sisters and we're really close, and we've always been really close. But this is another level in a professional world, outside of growing up together and being siblings. It just takes it to a whole new level. She's the only
Yeah,
person
and
I will talk to after all of this. Only, not my husband,
yeah.
nobody.
Do you go into just a place and be alone with your sister?
Well, if she's there, yes. If not, it's over text. She's the only person I would reply to. She tends to always be there though, but literally it's the only thing I can go to.
So do you think the tennis federation now is embracing more diversity? You see more diversity on the courts now?
Is the Federation embracing diversity? That's a
Yeah,
good question. Um, I think that by people seeing someone that looks like them playing sports, they wanted to play. So you're seeing like a lot of young players
yeah,
that are African American become professional, but you're also seeing them play high school tennis. You're seeing them play college too. So you're seeing a lot of those faces pop up at all the different levels and at the junior level. Whether or not the Federation has embraced diversity, I'm not sure. Um, we aren't necessarily directly involved with our federations. That's complicated. So
right.
unfortunately, we don't control that part.
But we would like to see that. We hope that in this new normal,
Yeah.
that's what that they are going to be embracing diversity and seeing more of our folks. I just like to ask you, to each one of you, if you could just say something to the audience of what do you do to stay home and stay safe?
What are we doing to stay home and stay safe? Working out. Honestly,
Yeah.
working out every day at noon with on Instagram Live. So we do dance workouts on Wednesdays, working out with you on Thursday, Motivation Monday,
Thursdays.
Tennis Tuesday. We do like happy hour on Friday or something like that.
Ooh,
But I love a happy hour.
I'm
Oh
available
God.
on Friday.
All right, we get you next Friday. We got the space filled this Friday. I'm sorry.
So what is it? It's happy hour at 12 noon?
Happy hour at 12 noon.
Happy
So
hour. So
After
that's happy
12,
you have
hour
to have
in
your
a fitness way.
yeah, you have to have your drink on ice after. Oh no, fitness is
Oh no,
all
so there's no
encompassing.
fitness.
So oh yeah, like for me, I'm a world class athlete, but I have to have a drink too. So what
But
you'll
I
see
don't
on
drink. So I'm gonna have to have a non-alcoholic mocktail. Got loads of
okay, so what I've been doing too is like you make like a smoothie and you can put a floater on top if you want.
okay, I can make it pretty. I can make it look pretty like a cocktail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's optional. So lots
So
of
I'm
fun
gonna
there.
peek in. Okay, so we have a Thursday workout, and then I'm gonna peek in on you on Friday with a mocktail, looking pretty, and for your say a little hello for your happy hour. Then I'll duck
Yeah.
out again and work out. Yeah.
Yes. And what are you wearing, by the way?
Right now I'm wearing a dress from my papa that I've had in my closet for a long time that I never wore. So I thought I'd wear it. Because I know that you both loved Papa. I know you both loved Azzy and Alaya. So I
yeah.
thought I'd wear it as a tribute to knowing that you both loved him.
Yeah.
I can't
Love it.
thank you both enough. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time. Legends, queens, bow down. I'm so grateful to you both. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
doing
Thank
this.
having
you,
And
Naomi.
us.
please
Thanks
send
for
my
having
love
me.
to the whole family from me.
Okay, we will. We
Thank you.
will.
Okay.
Lots
I
of
Thank you.
love you
love.
Love
both.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.